everyone, Dominic here, bringing you another 9th Age battle report. This time we have Orcs and Goblins versus the Legions of Sin. Specifically Wrath, I suppose. We played Frontline Clash with Breakthrough as the secondary objective. My spell selection, I took the Hereditary, Guile and Fury, and Swarm of Insects on my Adept. And I also took Raven's Wing, the Wheel Turns, Will-o'-the-Wisp, and Deceptive Glamour on my Master. For my opponent, he's got Ancestral Aid, Spectral Blades, Know Thy Enemy, and the Stars Align, as well as the Spear of Infinity Bound. Let's get started. Here's my deployment. So after a couple drops, I think I ended up dropping for first. I have Raiders, I've got the Behemoth, Iron Orcs, Giant, the Git Launcher, Pump Wagon, Spears, Poison Spears. I have my General on a Chariot, Ed Bashers, which is the BSB. I've got some Goblins up here with my Master. My Adept is in this corner. Another Pump Wagon. And finally the Veteran Orcs with paired weapons. For my opponent, he's got some Blood Crushers, I want to say. He's got Imps that look like Myrmidons. Myrmidons in here. He also has one of his Wizard Adepts in this unit. He has a unit of Hellhounds. He's got this other Wizard Adept hiding behind this building. He's got the Scourge of Wrath, which has got the +1 health point, so he's got 8 instead of 7. He has 3 Titan Slayers, and then another unit of Hellhounds. So turn 1 for Orcs and Goblins. I did a Vanguard up here. I didn't take a picture of it. I marched to block all of these charges from getting to the Behemoth, just setting it up for my next turn. My random movement went straight forward, and the rest of the army is kind of tentatively moving. I did march with both of the archer units, so there's going to be no shots turn 1. But magic, we got Deceptive Glamour onto the Central Hellhounds, and in shooting, we did 2 wounds to this Titan Slayer. For turn 1, Legions of Sin, he did try to make a long charge here. I stand and shot and killed like 2 guys. He also charged the 1 pump wagon that was up here. And he also charged 2 of those Titan Slayers into the chaff, and obviously made it in. In his magic phase, he did Ancestral Aid on the Hellhounds here, and he also got Stars Align on these Myrmidons. He has got no shooting to speak of. In combat, like you see, he kills the chaff. He also didn't kill the pump wagon outright. He did crumble it, but I did manage to do a couple wounds to him. Nobody panics, and he makes the overrun into the Goblins. That's what the table looks like. We're going to start turn 2 for Orc and Goblins. Turn 2, we do bring out the Netters, and I'm trying to remember, I think we called out the War Cry on this turn as well. We go for an easy charge into the Hellhounds. We also tried this charge into, I think I went to these Hellhounds, and I failed that charge. I think I needed a 6 on the dice. And yeah, he just stumbles forward. The rest of my movement, I kind of move up like so. In the magic phase, I did a boosted Raven's Wing on these Veteran Orcs. Basically, I went over here because I knew that I had all of this. The Imps weren't really much of a worry, but I knew that I couldn't stand up to either one of these charges. So I'd like him to charge me on his half of the table at least to keep him contained a little bit. So we did that. Unfortunately, the random move and the movement, he went super far, which even more so spells the doom of these orcs, but I'm going to go down swinging and take as many guys as I can with me. Into combat, we killed these Hellhounds, and overrun with the Lord. That's pretty much it for my turn. I think I did a wound with shooting into the Wrath guy. Actually, it looks like, because I think he's counting down, so that means 2 wounds on him. Yeah, that's what the table looks like. We're going to go to turn 2 for Legion of Sin. So he does everything in his army charges except for the imps. He makes this one auto in. He goes into the Lord. That's fine. He sends 2 of the Titan Slayers into the Behemoth, 1 of the Titan Slayers and the Hounds into the Iron Orcs. He declared a charge from the Myrmidons into my Goblins, and I decided to flee. And then he redirected and went into the Pump Wagon. For Magic Phase, I think he got Know Thy Enemy on, I want to say it was these Myrmidons. And that's pretty much it. He's got no shooting that really does anything the entire game. Into combat, he kills the Behemoth. I'll go back here. He kills the Behemoth. I do a couple more wounds, but I think I might have killed one of the... Sorry, he didn't kill the Behemoth. He made it flee off the table. I did kill one of the Titan Slayers, but the other one is very fine. Over here, I win combat by 1, but he doesn't crumble out any. Over here, I lose in the center one, obviously, going up against a big Wrath or Scourge of Wrath. I do break. He doesn't catch me, though, and I get away. He also doesn't manage to get into the Goblins, but I do pass the panic checks, so I'm fine there at least. Over here, he kills the Pump Wagon, and he rolls triple 1s for his overrun to go into the rear of this one. I mean, this is a foregone conclusion, but it was just a funny moment that, you know, he needed to roll like a 3 to get into that combat, which leaves these guys in a really bad position for him. In this combat, he kills, I think, all but 6 guys. I break. He doesn't catch me. I do get away, and I end up like so. So that's what the table's looking like, as we're going to go to turn 3, Orc and Goblins. So Orc and Goblins turn 3, I declare a charge into the flank here and into the flank here. I also go into the Scourge with the Goblins, and my Lord rallies, the Goblins rally. We make our charges. These guys who are decimated don't rally. They continue to flee. I think I only suffered 1 more wound going through his Myrmidons. Into the shooting phase, in Magic Phase, I cast Guile and Fury on the Iron Orc combat, and I managed to get Deceptive Glamour, I believe, to increase my agility and offense on the Giant, meaning that's a very fast Giant with offensive skill 6 with paired weapons. It's kind of neat. In shooting, I manage a partial on the Blood Crushers, putting a guy right in front of him. And that was pretty much it. Into combat, we do a boatload of damage to the Myrmidons. He's down by even more. He can't pass his check. He crumbles out to, I think, the unit champion and his character are left. I reform the Goblin, or the Goblins, the Edbashers to ranks, and that's what things are looking like. Over here, I think I did a wound to the Scourge this combat. I didn't feed him a champion. I never challenged him out. He never issued a challenge either. So, yeah. But I do pass the check, and I'm going to stick around and continue to fight. Over here, we kill one of the Titan Slayers, and I think we kill down to 1 Hellhound. Turn 3 for Legion of Sin. The Titan Slayer that was over here manages a charge into the Git Launcher. The Blood Crushers go over the Mad Git. They don't really take too much damage. They declared a charge into the fleeing, decimated veteran orcs. I continued to flee, but he catches me and does a pivot like so, or reform like so. And that's what the table's kind of looking like. Magic, I think he caught Ancestral Aid onto these Brazen Beasts, and it might have been one other spell onto them. But I don't intend to fight them anyway, so into combat. We finally finish off the Hellhounds. We put a couple more wounds onto the Scourge. I think he's down to 4 left. And over here we pop the last Myrmidon and the Harbinger over here. That's what the table looks like, as we're going to go to... Oh, sorry, and he kills the Git Launcher and does an overrun. So yeah, this is going to start off turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. So over here, I charged the Imps. Both of these units made it in. I did a Raven's Wing on the Goblins to move them far away from the Titan Slayer, as well as get them out of harm's way of the Blood Crushers. I fail a march check over here on the Iron Orcs, so they just kind of go forward a little bit, trying to get into breakthrough zone and threaten this Harbinger that's back here. In Magic, I also cast a Wheel Turns on the Scourge, meaning that he's to hit rolls of 1, 2, and 3, I think, are failing. I do, I think, 2 more wounds to him in this round of combat, so he's only got 2 left, but I've got barely any goblins. But I am passing my break checks, which is surprising. A 7, I did this one first, so the BSB was in range. So I was a 7 rerollable, but they are no longer in range. I'm only got 1 round of combat left because these Blood Crushers are coming in as well. Turn 4 for Legion of Sin. He makes this charge into them, like I say. Over here, he moves his Titan Slayer in a threatening position. In the combat phase, I think he buffed these guys again, and I didn't care to stop it. Into the combat, I finally managed to put the last 2 wounds on the Scourge. He wipes out the Goblins, though, down to just the 2 Netters. I break, and I'm ran down. I totally forgot at this point that my general is fearless, so I actually failed a panic check and fled, not fleeing through here to die, but fleeing here out of bad position, where I was when these Goblins were here. Even if I lost, I would have got a flank charge on them pretty easily, but that's okay. I totally forgot that I was fearless and could have had a good charge on those guys, but that's what the table looks like. We're going to go turn 5 for Orcs and Goblins. I do rally the Lord, at least. I declared a long charge into the flank with the Giant. He failed. The Iron Orcs move around the back, and the Ed Bashers are also looking back over here to threaten. In the Magic phase, I got another Raven's Wing off on these Goblins to make sure that they're out of harm's way. And that was pretty much it. Into Legions of Sin turn, he charges into my Lord. He also moves into the deployment zone because he sees that I keep getting Raven's Wing and he's not going to catch me, and he doesn't want to move closer to the Giant and risk losing these guys. So yeah, kills the general, unfortunately. Into my turn 6, I do double charge the Harbinger that was back here, who had failed a march check on his turn, and then both charges made it, and I crushed him. But that's pretty much it. That's the end of the game. I've got 2 guys into the secondary onto his deployment zone. He's only got 1. We both lost a good amount of points. Him definitely more than me, but the result ended in a 17-3 victory for the Orcs and Goblins. It was a really fun game. This one was pretty shaky with a lot of failed fear checks, even though I'm minimized, going from leadership or discipline 7 to 6, minimized even with a reroll is not a guaranteed thing. So I did fail a lot of fear checks in this game that probably shouldn't happen, and I think a couple of them actually, again, on my Lord who was fearless. I forgot that he was fearless, and I failed a couple on that one as well. So either way, a really fun game, and looking forward to continuing on the current winning streak with the Orc and Goblin Alpha. Again, I've noticed that nothing but good things have come since the new book. The average game for me seems to get more points out of a very similar list than what I played before, so it's interesting. But that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy these battles, and stay tuned for the next one.